So the Switch is Nintendo's best-selling console of all time, at least for the first week of the console's life, outselling the Wii at launch, but it's tough to say whether or not this momentum will last. Now, a lot of what's getting people to buy the Switch is the marketing that lets everybody know what it is, and the fact that what it is a portable console is pretty cool. And I know some people might say it's really just a powerful handheld that you could also hook up to your TV, but I disagree. The PS1 and Xbox One are a little bit more powerful, but really only by like an ass hair, and the differences between graphics these days aren't really noticeable to the average person. As far as the Switch's sales are concerned, I think Nintendo will be alright for the first year, since there's enough big games coming out, at least in my opinion. Honestly, for the first year, I expected there to be a few more games, since the Wii U didn't have anything for like the past 2 years. Plus, now Nintendo doesn't have to make games for a separate device like it's always done before with handhelds and consoles coexisting with each other. But I do think there's enough for the first year. Everybody loves Zelda right now, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is coming out within like a month-ish, I guess. It's funny how nobody really knows. But then after that, we've got Splatoon 2 coming around June-ish, I think? And then we've got a pretty long wait for Mario Odyssey to come out in the winter. That's like a 5-month gap. It's really important that Nintendo put something out during this time, but to be fair, we don't know that they're not. We just don't know if they are. Even something as simple as porting a few Wii U games over to keep people from selling their Switches on eBay would make a big difference. I'm pretty sure most of the people who are buying a Switch now probably didn't even own a Wii U, so it's really not that bad an idea. And even if you did own a Wii U, it's still possible you missed some of these games, or at the very least it'd be cool to have some of them portable now, so I'm all for it. It's not like the other two consoles aren't above porting older games. I'm sure the Virtual Console will be up before long to fill the void as well, maybe even with a few Wii games that the Joy-Cons can act as Wii remotes. Plus, I've always wanted to play 64 games on the go, so that's particularly appealing to me. So I think Nintendo will be fine for the rest of the year, but for their sake, I hope they reveal more for what the next year has, especially as far as third-party games are concerned. We know a lot of third-party developers are on board, but nobody's really announced anything besides Japan-exclusive RPGs that look awesome, but don't really mean anything to the rest of the world unless they get English translations. The console and game sales are really strong so far, but I'd be curious to know how many accessories they've sold, since I had to check at least a few stores just to be able to find a carrying case for the tablet. And I still can't even find a Pro Controller. But it's also worth noting that while the Switch is outselling the original Wii, the hype for that system was probably still stronger. It's just that it was hard for people to get a hold of the Wii when it first came out, since Nintendo couldn't meet demand. Which is also the case for the Switch, but there's gonna be more available sooner than later. I'm sure we're gonna hear more big games announced at E3, especially with only one console to focus on, and with these kinds of sales and Nintendo being back in everybody's good graces, at least for the moment, I expect to see some good stuff from third parties. I mean, do you really think Nintendo's just sitting there with their thumbs on their asses to make it look funny but not actually sticking them in there without any big games ready for next year? I expected there to be more to play in the first year, but at the same time, I don't think the games we got or the quantity is really all that bad. I knew Breath of the Wild was going to be good, but honestly, it's way better than I even thought it'd be, and I know it's a Wii U port, but it's still a portable, so suck it. I'm probably going to be busy with this game for at least a month, maybe even more, and I'll be playing it on a 14-hour plane ride to Japan tomorrow, provided there's an AC outlet to keep things powered on for longer than 2 hours. Anyway, so what do you think of the Switch so far? Are you enjoying it, or are you getting bored of it already? Let me know in the comments if you think Nintendo can keep the momentum for the Switch up, and if you're watching this video on Boxing Day, then happy freaking Boxing Day to you. This is Steve Perry at Review Tech Puerto Rico. Have a good one.